News starts now with breaking news.
And we are starting breaking news this morning. 2 police officers are on administrative leave after a deadly police-involved shooting in Boynton Beach last night.
Let's keep a map here. I want to show you exactly where this unfolded. Happened at Via Lugano Apartments, right off Congress Avenue, north of Gateway Boulevard. I want to go straight to our Madeline Montgomery, who's live at Boynton Beach this morning. Maddie, how did all of this play out?
Matt and Ashley, we just found out about this morning, and we're here at the neighborhood, and we went to see if there was still a scene, but it is gated, so we're not able to get inside and see if police are still out here. But we're told that last night they were called out here because of a violent domestic disturbance, and when police arrived, they found a man with a gun, and that's when the police-involved shooting took place. And today we are hoping to learn more about what exactly that situation looked like. We know that the man who had the gun was killed, and the 2 police officers were not heard. And coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you who all is investigating this situation. For now, live in Boynton Beach, Madeline Montgomery, CBS 12 News.
Yeah, Maddie, we're working to find out more about this. Thank you.
All right, take a look right now on our roads, on-time traffic here this morning. And this is the area of that incident in Boynton Beach. We are not seeing any slowdowns right there. In fact, right now we are not seeing any slowdowns anywhere in our area.
Let's go to Laura now. Check on the forecast.
Ashley, Matt, thanks. Let's take a look outside. A couple of clouds across portions of the area this morning, but we're getting light out there. The sun comes up in about 35 minutes from now. A few clouds outside. Like I mentioned, we've got some rain just off the coastline, but we should stay dry on shore, at least for the next few hours. Aside from a tiny passing shower, not a bad start to the day. 71 degrees right now in Port St. Lucie and Vero. We're at 71 in Indiantown, Belglade at 73, 72 in Okeechobee, but 80 in West Palm. We did not cool off very much overnight. That south wind bringing the heat back into the area today. You'll see that our temperatures are going to climb really quickly, about 84 degrees by 10 a.m. in Port St. Lucie. You're going to head to about 90 for that high this afternoon. And then as the sun starts to set, your temperatures drop back into the 70s. Now, skies are partly cloudy to mostly sunny to start, but thunderstorms are going to be returning really for everybody later today. High temperatures this afternoon, right about 90 degrees. It's hot. It's very humid. It's going to feel like the mid to upper 90s. Might get a little isolated thunderstorm or 2 out there, but again, that's probably not going to happen until later into the day today. The sun comes up, like I mentioned, at 6:35. A closer look at our next weather maker, and a slightly higher rain chance is still ahead.
6:02 now. Today, many parents following to see what happens with this one. Centers for Disease Control Advisory Committee is going to make a final decision on allowing the Pfizer vaccine to be administered to kids 12 to 15 years old.
Yeah, so if this is approved, we could start seeing the vaccine roll out nationwide starting tomorrow, just in time for summer vacation, kids going to camp, and then getting everybody back to school this fall.
The Food and Drug Administration gave authorization for emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine to kids 12 and older earlier this week. The vaccine was found to be 100% effective at preventing COVID-19 in 12 to 15-year-olds in the clinical trials. Moderna and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine are only approved for adults right now.
And even as that news is coming, the debate over mask mandates in schools continues. Local districts are getting some serious pushback from parents over mask policies for summer school and the upcoming school year. Let's get right to CBS 12's Kara Duffy. She is live in Stewart from the Martin County School District headquarters. They're going to be taking up this issue in an emergency meeting today. Kara, what do we know?
That's right, Matt. Ashley, it's quiet out here right now, but it probably won't stay like this for long. Protesting parents have been making their opinions well known when it comes to whether they think kids should be required to wear masks when they return to school come August. Now, in just a few hours, the Martin County School Board will be holding an emergency meeting on this topic, including whether masks will be required at upcoming graduation ceremonies. This after several parents demanded the district lift the mandate at last week's board meeting. Martin County is not alone. All of our local school districts are dealing with these same issues right now. We checked in with an infectious disease specialist for some insight. She says with the unpredictability of this virus, it's just too early to make a call for August when classes start up again, especially when vaccine hesitancy is so high for adults right now. She says she doesn't see it improving with children.
On a daily basis, I find people, adults that don't want to get vaccinated who have kids. So if they don't want to get vaccinated, what is our expectations for their kids to get vaccinated? That's negative 500, zero expectations for me because, they're more cautious, of course, with their kids than they are of their own, which it should be, but not with this.
Well, many parents here on the Treasure Coast have been fighting to lift the mask mandate in schools, some even saying it should be lifted right now. There is an online petition circulating in Palm Beach County pushing to keep the mandate in place into the next school year. Right now, they have nearly 2,000 signatures. Certainly a lot of different feelings when it comes to what parents think is the best decision for the new school year. As of now, everybody just waiting to see what the districts will come up with. Today's emergency meeting here in Martin County gets underway at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Matt, Ashley.
Kara, thank you. Here's where our other local school districts stand on their mask policies. Indian River County, masks will be optional for students attending summer school. So far, they have not announced any change to the district's mask requirements for the upcoming school year. Okeechobee and St. Lucie County School Districts require students to wear masks on campus and while riding the bus. They have also been yet to announce their plans for the fall semester.
6:06 now. This is a big deal for families considering private schooling. Governor just signed a bill into law that expands school vouchers for families sending their children to private school. 3 of the state's current 5 scholarship programs will be combined into one to make more students eligible. So that means a family of 4 making as much as $100,000 a year would qualify for state money to help pay for private school. The new law also eliminates a previous requirement that kids had to have gone to public school before qualifying for the voucher to switch to private. This law goes into effect July 1st.
This is worse than a hurricane.
That's something we've seen in the last 24 hours. People panicking over potential gas shortages and lining up at the pumps to fill up their tank. This is Florida and is now under a state of emergency after a cyber attack shut down a major U.S. fuel pipeline.
2-hour wait for gas in northern Palm Beach County and some places yesterday. It's wild. The Colonial Pipeline stretches from Texas to New Jersey. It supplies about half the fuel on the East Coast. But it's important to know here, this pipeline shutdown does not impact gas supply in our area.
In other words, there's no reason to panic. Terry joins us from the live desk to break down here what we know. Terry?
Yeah, exactly. First things first, there is no reason to panic here in South Florida. Most of our gas does not come from the Colonial Pipeline, but instead from tankers and barges out of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the reason for the governor's state of emergency is this. You see all this red up here? Well, some of the gas in the Panhandle does, in fact, come from that Colonial Pipeline. And take a closer look at this map here. It really is wild. Because of the shortage in the Panhandle, take a look. The gas prices in the Panhandle, they're soaring. They are higher. Their average prices are higher than in Miami-Dade County, in Broward County, and even in Palm Beach County, where we're seeing some of that red. The problem, though, we could face down here in South Florida is a supply and demand issue. If people panic buy gas, it could drive up the prices.
What's impacting our supplies right now are people who are rushing out to the pump to top off their gas tank, to fill up extra cans, basically panic at the pump. And it's unwarranted.
So obviously here in Florida, we have been through this all before. We have seen a shortage in gas when barges couldn't get into our ports during hurricanes and after hurricanes. Long lines then formed at the pumps, many stations running out of gas, causing a lot of worry, a lot of confusion. So pipelines are a concern right now, but we should get by here in South Florida. The long story short, we do not need to panic buy and hoard that gasoline because that is what would drive up the prices.
All right, Terry, 6:08 now. The heart of New York City is about to beat again. Broadway's coming back. And this morning, we're revealing which shows will start things off on the big stages.
The concern should lie within the culture that's existed in the district.
A new investigator has taken the reins within Palm Beach County schools, how she's making it harder for people to break the rules in the district.